sales really happen when you're making an offer and pitching consistently. And so you want to get on a schedule, and the invite only event solves that. So it is a 54-minute long. Yes, we have tested it. Yes, hundreds of clients have proven 54 minutes is the sweet spot for this. And it's rinse and repeat. You give this thing over and over. You get better every time you do it. You tweak it here, you iterate, and you improve it.
Welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show, a podcast helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses online to create more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. Now, with over 20 years of business building, coaching, and consulting experience, here's your host, author, speaker, and creator of the Millionaire Maker Funnel, Lindsay Anderson.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Millionaire Maker Show. So excited to be here today. Today, we're talking about one of my very favorite things to talk about, and that is my invite-only event strategy. You've heard me talk about this before. This method, invite-only event, really changed everything for me when it came to building my online business. I've been building my business for the last 20 years. I have tried everything when it comes to how to consistently get sales for my online business. I have two online businesses. I have Build and Monetize Agency, the #1 agency in the world for helping experts, consultants, and coaches like you scale their businesses. I've done that for 20 years. And on the other side, I have Lindsay Anderson Coaching, where we have courses and coaching where you will actually be able to get my system and put it to work for you in your business. And I've tried a lot of different things over the years in order to create a sales and marketing system that actually worked. And I have tried the memberships, I have tried the tiny courses, I have tried the live launching, and they all work to some extent. But the one thing that I rely on that is tried and true and really has built my business and added more ease and dependability and reliability to my business over the past several years has been the invite-only event. And so I'm going to lovingly dedicate this episode of the Millionaire Maker Show to the invite-only event strategy. This is a masterclass that you give on rinse and repeat that will bring in high-quality clients, get them on your phone so that you can sell your products and services. Or even a better way of saying that would be to prescribe your products and services, because we're not selling, folks, we're prescribing. And so we're going to go over it today. We're going to go over the 3 biggest mistakes people make with the invite-only event. You want to tune in for this, the invite-only event. Mwah! It really is the best tool there is for consistently closing more clients. Before we hop into the invite-only event, I want to make sure that you're registered for my upcoming masterclass. And this is called the Fall Sales Surge. 3 crucial steps to take now in order to prepare yourself for September. So during this masterclass, I'll be giving you your 6-week action plan for record sales this fall. All you need to do is head over to lindsayanderson.live/surge. Here's the thing is you have these 6 weeks. You can either take the 6 weeks off like your customers or like your prospects and try to get the machine and the momentum going when fall hits, when September hits. Or you can prepare over the next 6 weeks, get the kinks worked out, understand your audience and get that nurtured, perfect your conversion event so that you know what actually attracts your ideal audience, and get those sales reps in. You want to be doing those sales calls and perfecting your sales call process so that when September comes, you can really capitalize on the opportunity that is September. So I will help you. I have a masterclass. We'll go over these 6 weeks, these very critical 6 weeks together. All you need to do is head over to lindsayanderson.live/surge. We're going to be covering my VEMS model for creating a social media audience with high quality buyers. We need people. We need more leads. And you're going to do that through organic social media. Yes, you've got to have a plan to start posting on social media as these 6 weeks come closer and closer. Start building your audience now. We're going to be talking about my invite-only event strategy. We're going to talk about that today. This is the way you get your audience off of social media and onto a phone call, a prescriptive phone call. And we're going to talk about my sales system for closing more clients. What do I say on a sales call after I get them on a sales call to finish the process? So you will have a clear action plan on what you need to do over the next 6 weeks in order to prepare for the September sales surge. So please get signed up, lindsayanderson.live/surge. Here is the reality. Here's the reality. You have 6 weeks here. Do what you would like there, but I recommend you just get ready for September. You have a really strong launch in September and October, because then by the time Thanksgiving rolls around here in the States, it then becomes a little bit harder to sell to people because their mind is on the holidays and their mind is on getting through the new year and they're back to partying. And so you really have September and October to get sales for your online business. And you want to go in prepared. Summer is a great time to prepare. It's a great time to prepare. So we'll teach you how to build your audience, and we will teach you how to get that audience buying from you. You don't want to miss this. So let's hop in to the invite-only event strategy. What is the invite-only event? Let's talk about it. People are not making an offer and pitching consistently. People feel like, well, people know what I do. They'll reach out to me if they have a problem. No, sales really happen when you're making an offer and pitching consistently. And so you want to get on a schedule, and the invite-only event solves that. So it is a 54-minute long. Yes, we have tested it. Yes, hundreds of clients have proven 54 minutes is the sweet spot for this. And it's rinse and repeat. You give this thing over and over. You get better every time you do it. You tweak it here, you iterate, and you improve it. You improve on what you already have. And there's metrics that you can actually track. And if you come to the masterclass, I'll share these metrics with you, but there's metrics you actually track so you know, I should tweak the title. Oh, I should tweak my call to action. Oh, I should tweak the content. Oh, I should tweak what I do before the event. And when you're tracking these very specific analytics, then you can improve this event and it gets better and better, instead of all of this shiny object syndrome marketing where you try something and then you throw it out, and then you try it again and then you throw it out, and you're not really getting any better. Every strategy that I teach is iterative. You're looking at a number, you're making a logical decision, and then you are moving ahead. Now, the power in the invite-only event is all about intimacy. In order to sell more today, you have to introduce intimacy, because AI is making it really hard, and there's so many competitors online these days. And so with that combination, intimacy, are you a robot or are you a real person? These questions start popping up, and offering something live on rinse and repeat every week where you're used to it, your clientele, you can capture those individuals who are ready to take the next step when they're ready to take the next step. It's a life changer, and it's intimate. And this is going to blow your mind, the invite-only event, if you have tried a lot of strategies and only gotten like milk toast results. And so let's go over the benefits of the invite-only event. First of all, it's high end. Please know this, you're going to be judged about how you're showing up. So show up in the most expert way possible. Get your team to introduce you if possible. You are setting yourself up as being on stage and how people will view you. So take into account all of those details. But the power of an invite-only event is that it is high-end because it's so intimate. And it's intimate because we don't publicly announce our invite-only event. We only invite through invitation. And so that means old sales leads and prospects, people who have followed you on social media. The beauty of the invite-only event starts in the invitation. So you're reaching out to your contacts. You have a systematic approach for reaching out to your contacts, inviting them to the invite-only event. And on the invite-only event, here's the best news, is you only want a few people, because we want to keep this intimate. And it's been proven time and again that the more people that are on a Zoom call or digitally joining you, the less intimacy you feel. So the beautiful part about the invite-only event is you really only want to invite 20 people, because according to our stats, our vast stats on running hundreds of these, is 10 people will then join you. Okay, that's a 50% show up rate, which is just, it's blowing out of the water anything you would do on a live launch or anything like that, which is typically less than 10%. So on a invite-only event, you only want a few people. Invite 20, 10 will show up. And that's what we want. That's most effective. Next up, it's low cost. There's no ads. There's no complicated pages. There's no funnels because we're taking all of the AI and all of the tech out and it's person to person. It's intimate. And so you're going to host this on Zoom and everybody has Zoom, right? Since the pandemic. There's no cheesy sales pitch. This is the best part about the invite-only event is you're not making a cheesy sales pitch with a bunch of slides and you get this and you get this. And don't forget about the 25 video modules and the 45 worksheets that I'm going to include here for you because that doesn't work anymore. And you going over those slides doesn't work. What we're doing is going to be making a legitimate offer at the end. And we're going to go over what that is a little bit later. So that is the beautiful part about the invite-only event. It is awesome. So it'll change your business to do a rinse and repeat webinar that you are accountable for, that you are always selling, you're always making that offer, and just remaining really accountable to yourself and your marketing process and your sales. So problem one, the first problem people encounter during a invite-only event is they have a hard time finding the right people to come. And most often, people will create a masterclass where they're trying to catch a lot of different people. So they'll make it fairly broad. And I'll give you an example. They'll go very broad. So it will be how to get everything that you want in your life. And that's very broad. That could mean a lot to a lot of different people. A lot of people want a bunch of things in their life. And that in its context, when read, okay, when I read how to get what you want in your life, depending on where you're coming from, that title is going to mean something to you. It's not very specific. And so when you run with an invite-only event title like that, and I had a client who actually did that. He was running an invite-only event title that was literally that how to get what you want in life. And it's very broad because if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, then what I want is more, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. If I am a VIP and a CEO executive sitting in a corner office suite that flies on private jets, that means a whole other thing to me because I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. And by the way, my VIP client, that is who he served, is corner office executives. And while his message resonated with the CEOs when he would say how to get what you want, they understood the context as to what that meant to them. It was very broad, but he actually ended up attracting what I call a lower left-hand quadrant client, somebody who didn't want to pay him for what he was worth, just like non-quality people. So then we look at the title and we make this change. We go really specific with it and say, how to achieve more than success. And so when we make that small change, how to achieve more than success, all of a sudden the words more than success really are setting off the alarm bells for those individuals who are sitting in the corner office suite and flying on private jets. So come to find out, we changed the invite-only event title to that. Lo and behold, who do we have in the room? CEOs from the corner office suite who already have success and are looking for more. And that is how crazy it can be to tweak these titles and how nuanced this can be and how it's really difficult to do your own marketing alone because you're too close to it. You are in front of these people every day. You don't understand the broader perspective or the context. You don't understand the context because you have to know this, is that messaging and titling your invite-only event, it's like bait, like fishing. Fishing for clients is just like fishing for fish. You have to get that bait right, and your bait is the words. So a couple more examples here. I have a health coach client, very successful client. Her first try at an invite-only event was how to reclaim your health over 50. Listen to this part, even when your body seems to be failing you and it feels hopeless. As we were working with her, she was not getting high quality people on the phone. These people hadn't gone to the doctor yet. They hadn't really looked at their options yet because, again, let's look at the back end of the sentence. Even when your body seems to be failing you and it feels hopeless. Okay, that's a certain kind of person. And she heard that from her clients. Now, when we changed it to how to reclaim your health over 50, even if your doctor says there is nothing that you can do and you feel like you've exhausted all of your options. Now, that's a whole different kind of person with a whole different kind of desperation for your answers, as well as I understand how much doctors cost and I've been through the war, I've been through the pain, and now I just want answers. And so when we changed her invite-only event to that, the bait, the clients, the prospects, they were a completely different kind of person. They were people ready to take action. And that is why titling your invite-only event, because again, we're low tech. The only thing you have is this title, and you're reaching out to people and saying, hey, I have a masterclass called this. And then you drop that bomb of a title on them, and their mouth starts to water, and they're like, how did she know that I had that problem? And when you do that, the invite-only event gets even better. And it was already so awesome. Okay, so problem number 2. Problem number 1 is that title. You have to do, what's the answer? I want to give you an answer. I always want to give you an answer on the show. So the answer is find somebody in your experience, do the one true client method that I teach. Go listen to previous podcast episodes on that. One true client who is in your experience. It's a real, live, living, breathing person that you've served. And say, what would Martha say about that? What would Martha say about that? Okay. And if Martha liked it and you think Martha would sign up, then try it out. Then track your metrics, iterate, and see if it's the title that's a problem. All right, problem number 2. Content does not create tension and get people to buy. So often people show up on masterclasses and they just fire hose information thinking, if I give people an aha moment, then they will buy from me. That is so far from the truth, and you're leaving money on the table if that's what you think. No, you need to structure your invite-only event so it's playing into the psychological triggers so they understand what you're saying and how urgent it is. And so really you want to be showing up to your invite-only event with 3 problems and 3 tips. I said tips, not solutions, to answering those 3 problems. And when you give one tip and only one tip, it prevents you from over-teaching. It prevents them from being like, wow, that masterclass answered every question I've ever had. Thank you. I have 6 months of work. There's no way that I don't need to get on the call with you. And you don't want that. So make sure you're not over-teaching. You got to go in with 3 problems that they have said. Now, in my coaching programs, I teach you how to get this verbiage, this exact verbiage that just works so well. But you get this verbiage, then you say it in your invite-only event, and then as you're setting up your invite-only event, you have 3 problems that they are very aware of that really make them think, oh, wow, Lindsay made me think of things that I didn't even think about. And the key is to not solve all those problems on the invite-only event, okay? Fine, next. So content does not create tension getting people to buy. That's why you have to use a script. And I hear you. Hey, I like to teach based on my intuition and my feeling, or I don't want to follow a script. You're doing everyone a disservice. I call not using a script as unprepared. That's just what I say. That's what I say. And that's coming from somebody who was not scripted for the vast majority of my career. Okay? Use a script. Use a script. Finally, the biggest mistake people make when giving an invite-only event is that they don't make a strong enough pitch at the end. People are weird about money. People don't want to make a pitch. People feel weird about selling online. Whatever else your ego is telling you why you don't want to do this. The fact is, you show up, you give them the 3 problems, you give them the 3 aha moments, and then you take 7 minutes. Write that down. Then you take 7 minutes to make your sales pitch. And it's not even a sales pitch, okay? In fact, I hate that I even used that word. I retract what I said about the word sales pitch. And I'm going to put your offer, because if people have stayed that long and you've gone over these problems and you have built this up and you are an expert like I know you are, because that's who listens to my show, then you can help them. And a 15-minute enrollment call with you is worth its weight in gold. And if you don't think it is, and you think you offering that is not the biggest freaking gift that these people can have, because they've sat through 3 of the problems and nodded their head at you that, oh my gosh, she understands me, and that this isn't a huge gift for you to give them, you got some inner work to do, okay? That business of yours is being a mirror again, and this is a you problem, not a them problem. So the summary is take those 7 minutes. If your ego is telling you it's too long or rush through it or whatever, you need to look at that. You need to look at that. And when you look at that and you fix it and you do some inner work, even more sales will come your way. You want to productize this call. You're not just going to offer a call. This thing has to be just like your programs. This is a call. It is a 15-minute call. It's super valuable. It's very structured. I walk you through a series of questions. The whole point of this call is to get clarity. And it's not even a bait and switch, because if you put it this way, you go to a gastrointestinal doctor and the first thing you say to them is, "Can you help me? What's the prescription here?" And they haven't even asked you any questions. How much would you trust back this prescription from them? You wouldn't, because they don't know anything about you. Your clients are exactly the same. You need to get on these calls. You need to ask a series of questions, and you need to qualify the right individuals to be in your programs. Now, when you start doing it this way, you will find you will attract a higher quality person. You will attract more serious people in your programs. This will solve all of your problems, and you're prepared. So, big win. Figure out what questions, follow a script, take notes, give them a prescription at the end, just like you would at a doctor's visit. Who charges you? Or an attorney who charges you for an hour of their time, just like you. So, the fact you're giving it away for free, you better be walking in there with an, hey, I am doing everyone a solid favor here. And that's how you want to do it. Now, to productize that call, it needs a name. We're marketers here. So call it a career GPS call. Call it a rapid income strategy call or a thriving wellness blueprint session. Okay? Whatever it is, that content led to the moment of, hey, listen, I've covered a lot in this masterclass, and what works for John may not work for Sally, because everybody is an individual. And so in order to resolve your biggest problems, let's get some more clarity around it. And I'm offering an opportunity to actually talk to me. And so I recommend you get on this career GPS call. Get on this call with me. We'll talk about where you're at with your career. We'll talk about where you want to go. And we'll talk about the gaps between where you're at and where you want to go, so that you know what is down the road. Because I am an expert and I have traveled this road many times before. So I'm kind enough and awesome enough and such an expert enough that because you came to my invite-only event, heck yeah, I'm going to offer you this call. And you're lucky that I am, okay? That's the attitude. That's the attitude. And you want to productize that call, because that makes it easier to sell. It's a career GPS call. Then when you go live networking, hey, what's the next step? You know what? I do have this career GPS call. I will do it complimentary for certain people, and I'd be happy to offer that to you. Then you have something, this switch, this match point, this strike point, where that, hey, I know you guys are like hovering around in each other's world, but then you actually can make a connection. All right? So there you have it. Those are the 3 major problems that you're going to experience. Let's just go over them one more time, shall we? So problem number 1, you're not getting the right people to your invite-only event. That is all about the title and the right bait, making sure that those words are just perfect, because those are your bait. Number 2, content does not create tension, getting people to buy. Don't just show up fire hosing this. Go with the script, understand psychological triggers, and bring them down the pain funnel, we'll say, for lack of a better term. And then you don't make a strong enough pitch at the end. Take your 7 minutes, productize your call it something, and then people will want to come because you're prepared and you have a process, and it's not just getting on your phone so that you can sell me. Okay, now remember, there is a nuance here. You have 6 weeks between here and the end of the year. We're in the middle of summer now, and I know that you have your own businesses, and this makes sense till you go to sit down, and it can be hard to see the label on your own jar. And we're in the middle of summer now, and you do not want to be missing out even on one sale. And so let's plan this out together. Let's have a talk. Okay, for all the listeners of the Millionaire Maker Show, you do not have time for failed invite-only events. You don't have time to get this optimized and to figure out this for yourself. I'm going to offer this ability for you and I to map this out together in an invite-only event blueprint strategy session. Now, all you need to do is head over to lindsaya.com/coaching and fill out that application. We'll get you on an invite-only event blueprint strategy session, and we'll plan this out for you so that you can go into September absolutely prepared. Now, everyone should apply. There are some prerequisites for getting on this call. There's only a certain kind of person in a certain kind of business that I can help, but I encourage everybody listening here to head over to lindsaya.com/coaching and fill out the application to actually get a Millionaire Maker Blueprint strategy session with me. On this very powerful call, we will be covering what are you selling and who is your customer? Is it profitable? Is it scalable? What is your pricing? And will what you're doing work in the long term? We're going to talk about how to fill your invite-only event. We're going to define your target market. We're going for quality here, just like that little tweak I mentioned that I made on my customer's title. These are the kind of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what your audience looks like now and where can you find more of these people based on the momentum that you already created. Again, you're going to want to head to lindsaya.com/coaching. And then finally, we're going to talk about your current sales system. What is your current sales system and how effective has it been? How can you streamline your sales process and make it easier for your leads to convert? And how can you actually start to count on consistent sales and revenue? We're going to cover that on this call. Fill out that application. Like I said, a few prerequisites. This is not the best strategy if you're just new, if this is your first rodeo, not the best strategy for you, but this is for you. If you already have some momentum going in your business, I can help you get that to the next level. So it's summer. Seize the day, and I look forward to seeing you on that call. So there you have it. So thank you for listening in to this awesome episode of the Millionaire Maker Show. I love to share with you the strategies and what it takes to build a $1 million online business. Don't forget to join me for my live masterclass by going to lindsayAnderson.live/surge. Get signed up for that masterclass. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and cheers to you and your success.
Welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show, a podcast helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses online to create more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. Now, with over 20 years of business building, coaching, and consulting experience, here's your host, author, speaker, and creator of the Millionaire Maker Funnel, Lindsay Anderson.